A 36-year-old East Rand woman who was arrested for killing her nephew has confessed to assaulting him with a stick because he allegedly admitted to stealing money from her. Andile Alivira Mtembo made a brief appearance in the Tsakane Magistrates Court on Monday on charges of murder, defeating the ends of justice, and perjury. The National Prosecution Authority spokesperson Ulumkama Hanjana said shortly after appearing, Mtembo confessed to killing Neo Mahlangu, who was 16 years old, in the magistrate's court Niku Fenter's chambers. It is alleged that on the 16th of March this year, Mtembo killed her 16-year-old nephew by assaulting him with a stick and forced her 14-year-old son to hold the deceased down while being assaulted to death. In court, Mtembo confessed in front of the magistrate Niku Fenter in his chambers that she indeed committed the alleged offense because the nephew had admitted to stealing money from him. Mtembo was arrested on the 1st of April after her son sent pictures of the incident to his relatives in KZN. The relatives then called police and Mtembo pointed out where she had buried the body and the deceased. Dressed in a black beanie, a gray sweater, and pants, Mtembo was slowly swirling around as she took the stand and while she had her hands in her pockets. Mtembo is also accused of hiring her neighbors to dig a hole for her in the backyard under the pretense that she wanted to install a water tank. Neo, who lived in Davidson, also in the East Rand, had visited Mtembo last month. She reported him missing on the 24th of March. The K9 police made a gruesome discovery of Neo's body on Thursday night after they received a tip-off that he had been buried at his aunt's backyard. Mtembo opted to use legal aid for lawyers for her case. The case has been postponed to April 12th for further investigation and to be transferred to a regional court. Neo's grandmother, Kate Mashiko, who's 65 years old, and Aunt Tina Mahlangu, who is 45 years old, his cousin Bongani Ndlovu, who is 26, and his brother Senzo Mahlangu, who is 25, attended the proceedings. As Mtembo was being escorted to the holding cells, relatives stood up in disgust and rushed out of the courtroom. Senzo said he is saddened by Neo's killing, saying, "I'm sad, I cannot even say much. I hope she does not get bail." Neo went to visit his aunt 3 days before schools closed on March the 14th. He packed his clothes and went there. Ndlovu said, "We are still in shock, we are flabbergasted." When the Sowetan visited the house, the gates were locked and no one could be seen in the yard. There was a strong stench coming from the grave. A spade along with black boots were lying next to the shallow grave as well. Really, really bad stuff. And really hard to understand how family can do that to each other, especially an aunt who is known as somebody of a generation above the youngster, was being visited by the youngster, regardless of what the accusations might have been or the reasons that she's giving. It just doesn't seem that any of that could equate to justification of doing what she eventually ended up doing to the young man. May he rest in peace. The Constitution states that the Constitutional Court must consist of a Chief Justice, a Deputy Chief Justice, and 9 other judges. Now, the use of acting judges was a practice of former Chief Justice Mogoeng, where in one case, 4 acting judges heard the case about transparency in political funding. With the appointment of Raymond Zondo as Chief Justice effective from the 1st of April and the appointment of 2 judges to the court in January, the court has now a Chief Justice and 7 permanent judges. President Ramaphosa indicated last month when he appointed Chief Justice Zondo, he would nominate Supreme Court Appeal President Mandisa Maya to be a Deputy Chief Justice. If that were to happen, the court will have 11 justices as required by the Constitutional Court, all of them permanent. Of the 6 candidates shortlisted for the interviews this week for the vacant Constitutional Court positions, 4 have been interviewed for the post before the varying results. Supreme Court of Appeal Judge Mahube Molomela and Gauteng High Court Judge Faiza Katrice Tilwane were among 5 judges recommended for the position during the interviews held in October last year. However, Ramaphosa appointed judges Jody Kolepen and Ramakamathapo to fill the vacancies. There have been concerns recently about the way that the JSC conducted interviews, which has sometimes led to interviews for judicial positions veering towards questions not designed to determine the candidate's suitability for the position itself.
We're social. Check us out on Facebook
at Trusenz Radio.
Civic education is ongoing at Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality. This week, on Wednesday, 6th April, Council Speaker, Councillor Humphrey Maxegwana, will be informing the public about municipal demarcation processes. Catch it live from 6 p.m. on KNR, Mdanzana FM and Kumkan FM. Buffalo City Metro, a city hard at work.
18 minutes now before 12 o'clock, and of course, still within the moment of truth and still catching up on our final bit within the power moment. What are we still to discuss? Well, I can tell you this. I don't know if you saw that video of a guy on a shopping cart or a trolley holding onto the back of a fuel tanker driven or labeled to belong to one of the big chain fueling stations. But they were on the freeway traveling at a significant speed, and it was raining, and the fella is just holding onto the bumper while actually riding the trolley, which really, really, really is very dangerous. Well, the Gauteng Traffic Police has issued a stern warning to hitchhikers on Gauteng's major routes following a video which was widely circulated on social media, which depicts a hitchhiker traveling with a grocery trolley attached to a fuel tanker vehicle along the N1 South east of Pretoria. According to police, the incident took place on Sunday, the 3rd of April, during a rainy condition. Gauteng Traffic Police said the investigation into the alleged hitchhiking incidents are currently underway, and the hitchhiker will be brought to book soon. A video shared by motorists showed a man sitting in a supermarket shopping trolley and racing on the N1 in the rain while holding the back of the fuel tanker. The registration plate of the tanker is also visible on the video. The Gauteng Traffic Police also issued a stern warning to the hitchhikers along the Gauteng major routes. Spokesperson Silo Maremane said that they would like to warn hitchhikers that should such irresponsible behavior is punishable by law enforcement authorities. He further said road users are encouraged to make use of public transport as an alternative means to endangering their lives and that of others on the road. He said the members of the public are urged to alert the law enforcement authorities should they observe such unwarranted conduct by hitchhikers. The singer turned EFF politician said his fans can still expect him to sing at weddings. Speaking to a very famous radio station recently, he said love has pushed him to what he does politically. He says, from the very first album, Vugani, I was singing about what's happening today, and now I have a platform I've been given to say and push for unity of us as a people, he said. Ringo said because of love, he is a revolutionary musically and politically. Love has pushed me into doing what I'm doing politically. Because of love, I've given myself to be a revolutionary in that way. We need to change. We've got to change, he said. Ringo is among the other celebrities who are fighters, including actresses Mabato Munso, Ntando Duma, musician Benny Mayengani, Fana Mukwena. Fana took a break from the acting industry to venture into politics as an EFF MP. I've never been a politician because I feel like this is very different discipline. I'm an actor who's an activist, he said. I'm very politically aware, and I've always been an activist one way or another. I absorbed it from my mother because she was politically active, he said. I love learning new things. For me, it's an opportunity to learn It took society a very long time to accept me in the space that I was not worried. It's a journey that I have to travel, and I enjoyed it and have learned a lot from it. This one absolutely grabs the imagination. This is one absolutely bizarre story. Imagine you're about to eat something and it looks back at you and grabs your cutlery. Wouldn't that make you uncomfortable? Well, a video has gone viral on social media where raw fish that is believed to have been served at what seems to be a Japanese restaurant came alive on the plate. Posted on Instagram by user Takahiro, the video shows a dish with some vegetables, probably glass noodles, and 2 fish. In the clip, a man can be seen poking the fish with chopsticks before eating it. The fish opens its mouth and grabs the end of a chopstick. Sharp teeth are also visible in its mouth, and the whole experience looks scary. The fish in the video seems motionless at first, but as soon as the chopstick touches the fish, oh man, it came to life and actually opened its wide mouth, then closed its mouth and held the end of the inside of the chopstick. The video has garnered over 7 million views and 18,000 likes, and people have expressed their disgust over the clip in the selection. Yikes. One user wrote, "Excuse me." Another one said, "Why are we eating fish alive?" Another one wrote, "This is strange food. Whoever has come to eat is coming to eat again." And of course, this isn't only shocking phenomenon around the world. We've seen this in the past. Late last year, a woman based in Pennsylvania received more than 14,000 shares on a Facebook post after claiming she found that something odd in her takeout. After getting home, Brittany Palhumus said she opened a takeaway container and took out a bite of a wing, and she noticed that one of them had an unusual shape to it. Ordered wings from Old School Pizza in Hannah Wingrove and received a chicken head. She was told to call back on Monday and speak to management. She says, "Yes, I know where wings come from. However, to me, it is personally not appetizing to see the chicken head still in the wings I ordered." So one of those things, and definitely a story that'll get some people going. But in all honesty, what happens when that happens, where you discover that this was supposed to be, number one, you were supposed to be dead. Let's start there. Because generally not in the practice of eating food that is or any meat or a meat product of anything that is currently still alive. So that said, it should be pretty interesting how they recover from that one. Right now, though, 12 minutes before 12 o'clock.
Ukufundiswa koluntu ngenkqubo zikamasipala kuyaqhuba eBuffalo City Metro. Kule veki ngolwesithathu umhla wesithandathu kwe-April, usomlomo webhunga uCouncillor Humphrey Maxegwana uza kube esazisa uluntu ngocando lwemida kumasipala. Lufumane udliwano-ndlebe kwezi zikhululo zilandelayo: KNR, Mdantsane FM neKumkani FM. Usasazo luqala ngentsimbi yesithandathu malanga.
Well, you could have been anywhere between 9 and 12, but thankfully you chose to spend that time with us, and for that we are eternally grateful. Thank you for making Moment of Truth your 9 to 12 destination. On behalf of the crew and myself, let's see you tomorrow. Until then, please take care of yourselves so that we can all take care of each other. Peace.
We are extraterrestrial.